I am Carol Thompson today. And I'm okay with that. I'm just fine with that. I'm comfortable enough with myself that I can be Carol Thompson for 30 minutes. And I'm super pumped. I'm going to wait a couple minutes, just let everybody grab on for a sec. As you can see, behind me is my working whiteboard. It's a whole wall in my office where I just brain dump or plan or goal set or put what I want to do. But I will say my top, just so you know, write in your goal. Can everybody hear me? See that top up there in pink? See that up there? That's what I want to accomplish. And I got to cross one off the list. That is a big day, guys. That's why you got to write it down. And the one I got to cross off the list was renovating my main bathroom. And it'll be done tomorrow. So I'm super pumped. Just random stuff. You got to write it down, guys. Got to write it down. And then this is the other half. I just wanted to show you how how's your new year going? Merry New Year. That's what happens when you have a 2-year-old. They rip off all the letters. All right, we're 8:30 right on the dot. I love it. I'm going to start recording. Oh no, I was recording anyway. Okay, you've anyway, Carol recorded all that part. Okay, so everybody's on. Love it. Carol is Nadia, Nadia is Carol, one and the same. What I'm talking about today is unlocking your treasures. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. I was at my mom's house last week, and my mom's a national sales director who's retired. I'm retired 6-7 years ago now. But she found a book. Random. It just says with gratitude, and it's this little tiny coil binder. And she started opening it up. And the first line says, unlocking your treasure. If that's not crazy, because I chose last week what I wanted to say, what I wanted to speak about this week. And then my mom's like, here, you might want this book. There's some great notes in it. First line, unlocking your treasure in my mother's notes. So if your only thing you take away from this Wednesday night is put it out in the universe, what it is you want, what you want to do, that's okay. You learned a lot on this Wednesday. Unlock your treasure. The other thing she gave me was her first ever newsletter that she typed up in 1981, and it was 7 pages long that she typed up on a typewriter. There's that. Okay, so let's talk about unlocking your treasure. What the heck is this? Unlocking your treasure is acknowledging maybe what you might have done in fear, what you might have put off in 2020, dropping it at the door, and walking into 2021 to unlock your treasure. So the big question of the day is, what would you like to do most in your Mary Kay business? What would you like to do most? What are you willing to do to make that thing happen? Because listen, if you're not willing, then what you just said you want most is not going to happen. I always ask consultants when I coach them. I just said, you know what, I can work with you. That was going to be amazing. But are you willing to be coached? Because being coached and being somebody's friend to help them along in the business is 2 different things. Coaches, if you've ever played a sport, you don't generally like them 90% of the time. So when I go and coach people, I'll be like, you might not like me at the end, but I want you to know that I have your best interests at heart. And if you're willing to be coached, I'm here to coach you. So what is it that you're willing to do to make your 2021 goal happen? Or even your January goal? What is it that you're willing to do? What have you learned so far about yourself being in your Mary Kay business? Can you actually write that down? What is it that you've learned so far that you've been in Mary Kay? What have you learned about yourself? I learned that I love a challenge. I learned that I love when somebody says, Nadia can't do that. Nope, she can't. Definitely not. That little girl from Halifax, Nova Scotia, she can't be $1 million director. I've learned that I don't like it when people tell me I can't. So I just try to go do the opposite. So what is it that you've learned about yourself through this business that you can fundamentally say, I'm awesome. This is awesome. Knowing your goal of what is it that you would like to do most in your business. Can somebody yell out one thing that they'd like to do most in their business? Just yell it out. One word.
Team build.
Team build, love. What else?
Giving the customer service, the one-on-one service.
Yeah, get that customer service. Love it. Consistent money coming in. Love consistent money coming in. How much time per week are you willing to set aside for your business to accomplish team building, to accomplish consistent money coming in, to accomplish the stellar customer service that you know that you can give? What are you willing to set aside? Because if you look at your calendar and there's nothing set aside for Mary Kay, I'm going to tell you, I've said it before, probably a year ago at this time, then it's not important to you. If losing weight is your goal for January and you haven't scheduled in your workout time in your calendar, it ain't happening and it ain't important to you. So make sure you set aside the time per week that you're willing to spend on your business, on the goal that you're willing to work for. What do you expect of yourself in regards to your business? Who's the boss? Now, I want you to know that you do not work for Mary Kay. I'm going to clear this up right now. You don't work for Mary Kay. You are an independent beauty advisor, an independent senior advisor. You are independent. Mary Kay is your provider and they're your support. They are like a big brand banner over your head. That's it. What you accomplish in Mary Kay and in your business is up to you and only you. Anybody that just slap anybody in the side of the face? No? No? Well, you do it again and again. If it's going to be, it's up to me. Have you ever heard that quote? It's one of my mom's favorite freaking things. And if I look through this book, it's on every second page. Every second page. She had to remind herself over and over again, if it was gonna be, it was gonna be up to me. Now, the company asks you to do two things. They ask you to sell and share the product and share the opportunity. That's all they ask you to do. They don't ask you to do much else. That's it. If you complicate those two things, your business is going to be complicated. But if you just focus on sharing the product that you love and sharing the opportunity, you will always have a successful business. Always. So, why do you do those two things and why are they the only two important things in your business? Because they allow you to grow personally and financially. Sometimes those things work in conjunction. You can do both in this business. My mom always said this is a personal development course that you get for free. How many of you can say that you learned money management skills in this business? Oh, I did. How many of you can say that you learned coping skills in this business? I think coping skills are going to be the one thing that if I teach my kids nothing, that's what I want to pass on to them. I want them to be able to cope. You guys all know how to cope. If you've ever gotten a no, if somebody's ever said, "Oh my God, my face is burning," and you handled it, I just want to tell you right now that you coped. Congratulations. You coped in this business. You now have coping skills in Mary Kay. That's amazing. How many of you feel that your life has become more rich? I don't mean money, but more rich because you signed that beauty agreement. I certainly think that the skills that I've learned in this business and the skills that you guys have learned, you can transfer to anything you ever want to do. If you decide that this is your last day in Mary Kay and you do something else tomorrow, I promise you the skills that you acquired in this business, you will take on to your future endeavors. It's amazing. I love watching that. And it's free. You guys signed on for free. There wasn't a fee you needed to drop in the Zoom box when you joined this training tonight. Isn't that cool? You get to learn for free. Excuse me. So I want to go back to who's the boss in this business. You guys are all independent. And I was taught the scenario years ago when I had to think about my work ethic and the time I was putting in, the willingness I had to set aside time in my calendar and what I was willing to work for. I had to ask myself, so who's the boss? And if I was my boss in Mary Kay, would I be proud of myself? Would I have gotten a good review? Would somebody have given me a raise as my Mary Kay consultant? When I really sat back and analyzed whether I was a good employee, even though I just told you you're not an employee of Mary Kay, but if I was a good employee for my Mary Kay boss, should I have been fired? Absolutely. In my first couple of years, I should have got fired like 60 times. But the cool thing about this business, you can rehire yourself tomorrow. So it's okay, you're not all fired. So if you feel that up until this point, 2020 was just a full-on bust, the cool thing about this business is you can unlock what it is that you need to unlock to get where you want to go today. And I will tell you, and I've learned this time and time again, anything you want to unlock always starts with a decision. You need to decide. I had a conversation with somebody I'm coaching that's on here. And what I said to her was, so you say you want to be a director. I mean, whatever you want to do, that's the thing. But in her case, she said, I want to be a director. I said, well, how long have you said this? And she's like, well, I'm going on 3 years now. I was like, so how's that working for you? That was not, when she says she wants to be one, that's just like a hope and a prayer. When you make a decision that I am going to be a director and you commit to that and you put the willingness into making the time that you're going to set aside for your business, what is it you're willing to give up to get to where you want to go? The minute you make that decision is the minute you moved. And I'm going to tell you, the minute she made that decision, she went from one team member to DIQ in 5 weeks. You can do anything you want to. Her name's Vanessa. She is on here. I'm sure she is. She's always on there. And Karen Hanks as well. Same thing, 2 of them. But that had nothing to do with me. That had all to do with them making a choice and being willing to be coached, willing to learn, and willing to set the time aside that they needed. So we all have the power to make a decision. I want you to know that right now. But is not a decision. I want to be a director, but I want to lose 20 pounds, but oh, a butt is not a decision. That's just a big fat butt. That's all that is. That's just a big fat butt. And that big fat butt is going to get in your way time and time again. And it's going to never allow you to move ahead. So the biggest question I always ask myself is, what would I do in this business if I couldn't fail? I know you've heard that a gazillion times, but sometimes when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. What is it that you would do in this business if you knew you couldn't fail? Write it down. I wrote it down. And listen, I might not accomplish those things this year. I mean, I think I've read them to you before, but I mean, there's lots of things up there. A lot of them are personal, but it's renovate a kitchen, renovate my front steps, get my kids' education paid off. They're 3 and 8 months. And buy Chris a truck in cash. I might not get those accomplished this month, but guess what? They're written down and I just ticked one off. What have you ticked off on your wants and to-do list lately? So that's not to say, that's just to say, make a dang list. Make a list and make a decision. So one of your biggest things in 2021 that I'm going to teach you to unlock the treasures of within you is to not prejudge. You need to delete the prejudge button from your mind. And if you've decided that someone in your midst, someone in your circle, if you've decided, well, I'm not going to tell them about the business because I'm just scared. She's going to say no anyway. She's so busy. She's got 9 kids, 6 jobs, 52 husbands, 7 dogs. I've just decided that, you know what, she's busy. She's busy. I'm going to just tell you right now that you have prejudged her. Yeah, Sarah Ann, absolutely. Sarah Ann's got like 9 horses, 6 businesses, and she's like number 1 in the business. So like if somebody wanted to prejudge Sarah Ann, that was a mistake. If someone wanted to prejudge myself, I had a corporate job, I was happy in my marriage, that is all a lie if you've been here for a hot minute. So you do not prejudge. So what we're going to do first off in 2021 is we're going to delete the prejudge button from our mind. 52 husbands, that's kosher. It was a joke. You know what I'm trying to say. She's busy. So if you've decided that then for you, you've actually taken her power away from making a choice. Does anybody like it when anybody makes choices for you? Does anybody enjoy somebody saying, this is your life for the next 2 years? No, nobody enjoys that. So the minute that you decide that she is not good enough to hear about the opportunity is the minute that you've prejudged. I want you to recognize that when you do it, because the minute that you recognize it is the minute that you've made a decision that you won't do it again. I had to get right with myself because I was being a judge factory. When I first started this business, I was like, oh, no. She's a teacher. No, she makes good money. She's fine. She has summers off. She's okay. I'm not going to tell her about how we work. So first thing in 2021, we're going to delete prejudgment. I always felt that when I was recruiting, I was mining for gold. And so if you've ever seen there's a cartoon out that there's 2 miners in the ground and they're mining. One turns around and goes the other direction, was like, I'm tired. One takes one more swipe at the wall and finds the pot of gold. I always thought when I was recruiting and sharing that I was mining for gold. I just have to take one more swipe. I got to message one more person. I got to offer it one more time because you will hit that pot of gold. Do you know that the woman that recruited my mother left the business? She could have just hung out for 35 years and made a piss pot of money. She left. She didn't want to do that 225 wholesale order to stick around. I just want you to know that you are one scrape away from your pot of gold, whatever it is that you're looking for. You're one scrape, one message, one connection, one relationship away from that. You need to believe that in your mind. The other thing that you're going to work on in 2021 that we're going to start this year off right is recognizing the differences in other people, and smart people recognize those differences and honor them. Not everybody is like you, and not everybody is attracted to your style of working. So this is why when you're working with your director to move ahead, this is why she offers to do sharing calls with you, because that person will get to hear her personality and yours working together simultaneously. And that is a beautiful piece of art for somebody that's looking for their next break. This is why we have 4 different personality directors teaching you every Wednesday, so you can hear from 4 voices, 4 different people in 4 different formats. And whatever personality style you are, you can walk away inspired. That was the goal. So in 2021, to unlock your treasure from within, you are going to recognize the differences in other people and value them. What was my other notes here? So the next thing we're going to do to unlock your treasure in 2021 is we are going to recognize that we can't change the people around us. I cannot make Jennifer say, yes, Nadia, I am all in. I'm going to join your team. I am going for Red. I'm going to be a director and I'm going to do it next week. I cannot change her. But the only thing that I can control and change is me and my reaction and what I do next. So Jennifer said, no, I don't want to join your team. Your decision at this point is going to take you from having your best year in 2021 or staying right where you are. And the next decision you should make is to go share with somebody else. Go make one more call. Go make one more connection. Go create one more relationship. Because if you let Jennifer stop you dead, Jennifer, I'm picking on you, but if you let Jennifer stop you dead, you've allowed somebody else to take your power away right at the beginning of 2021. And that's not how we want to start this year. So what you want to do in 2021 is you want to become a little bit of a risk taker. Are we going to take some risks in 2021? I don't mean go jump off a cliff with a bungee cord. I just mean, like, are we going to take some risks and do some things in fear? Because I'm going to tell you, the last year was scary. It's still a touch scary, depending on where you live. But I want to tell you, you're all here. You all made it. And you all stepped out in fear in your personal life, in your business. And I'm sure what most of you are doing during your day job. Thank you for all you do. But what we're going to do in 2021 is we're going to step out and work in fear. The only way to build confidence in anything that you're doing, whether this be a new job, if I showed up to be a nurse today, do you think I'd be scared half to death? Oh my gracious. But, I signed up for the job. I got the education. I showed up. I'm going to be a nurse. You signed the application. You wanted to be a consultant. You didn't sign to fail. Step out in fear. By the way, fear pays you 3 times more. Fear pays you 3 times more. And once you conquer that fear, I'm just going to tell you, you're going to get one more. So I've had a couple ladies over the last little bit just that have been fearful about doing online parties or fearful about this. And then all of a sudden we show them how to do an online party. They're doing online parties. And now they're teaching other fearful people to do online parties. So step out in fear, and then you can teach and pass it on. That's what this business was meant to do. One thing my mom always said to me as a kid was, Nadia, stretch your mind like a rubber band. Don't stick in one lane. Stretch your mind a little bit. Think a little bit bigger. So when you're thinking about people to join your team in 2021 for 24 freaking dollars, like I went to Starbucks the other day and got 2 grande lattes and a friggin' banana bread, and I was like 21 bucks. I just about pooped myself. And I was like, people do this on a regular? Like, what the? So you can buy that for 21 or start a biz for 24. So stretch your mind like a little bit of a rubber band and broaden your horizons of who you think would be great in this business. And this is what your focus should be from now until the end of June. Passing it on, passing it on, passing it on. But unlocking your personal treasure has to do with you taking the time to figure out what it is that you excel at in this business. What do you excel at? What is it that you're good at Mary Kay? There's all kinds of things. Are you really great at color? Are you great at explaining how the skincare works? Are you great at talking about the business? Are you great at follow-up? We need to talk if you're great at follow-up, because that's one thing I did not do well at the beginning. Are you good at talking people down off a ledge? When you have a tough situation, are you great with coping with the no? Find what your hot button is. And when you go to sit down in your office for the hour or the 45 minutes or the half hour that you've set aside with Mary Kay, guess what we're going to start with first? That. You're going to start with that. If you're really good at color, Crystal Wright, you're going to start with one of your color clients and you're going to call her and make sure she's great with all of her stuff. Because why do you do the thing that's most positive that you're good at first? It boosts morale. So then you move to the next things that you're not so good at once you're on the up and up. Last but not least, to unlock your treasures in 2021, you're going to write it down. In your wildest dreams, what do you want? When I first started this business, do you know what I learned most and that saddened me the most? Is that most women don't dream. And that's a generalization. But when I started, it was one of the things I recognized of the women I was meeting, just starting Mary Kay or customers, that women were just living that day to day of doing everything that they had to do, and they just weren't dreaming. I was just like, if you had $1,000, like, what would you go do tomorrow? She's like, well, probably get some more garbage bags and then, grab some groceries. Maybe pay for the winter tires. I was like, what? Huh? So your big thing that you're going to do to start off 2021 is you're going to unlock the girdle on your brain and think big. I have this, like, I know all those things are stupid up there, but they might be stupid to you guys. They're just important to me. But one of the biggest things that I've told you from the beginning that I want to do is I want to have $60,000 in cash and walk into a Chev dealership, take my husband and be like, pick one. I know it's weird. You too, Raven too. That's what I want to do. In cash, like kind of like I'm a gangster, really. Like in a briefcase. I want it all like chipped off in hundies. Like I just want to like drop it like it's hot. It's just a random dream. I've watched too many movies. But that's my big, people say that might be your down. That's great. That's stupid. No, that's my dream. I'm owning it. That's what I want to do. But guess what? She's on the board. It's number 5 up there on the board. You gotta write it down. The only way that you're going to get those little inky things out of your mind is to write it down. I know in 2021, if you're a TikTok fan, or anything like that, you will see a lot of videos on manifestation and putting out in the universe what it is that you want. I have a friend of mine's sister that um, she's really into manifestation, and she says when she goes on her walk in the morning is that she sets her intention for the day. She says what it is she wants to accomplish. She wants to have a really positive day, and she's like, if things are going to go my way, basically she just says, if the universe is listening to me, she said, I want to see 3 seals on my walk today by the ocean. So help me. She friggin' sees 3 seals, and they're like right up by the water. Like they don't usually come up right by the shore, but like she sees 3 seals and it's like they're waving at them. Like she sends pictures. I'm just like, okay. If you need an example of putting your stuff out in the universe for you to do, it's one of those things that once you get it out of your mind, your subconscious actually works toward those things without you even thinking about it. It's because you brain dumped it. So when you brain dump it, it makes more room for active thinking, and active thinking is what's going to get you toward those. So your treasure, unlocking it is not in a box. It's right in here. It's right in here. And the only thing that you guys have to do right now is take the time to unlock it, be confident in it, what it is that your dreams are, what it is that you feel that you can accomplish in this business. And I'm here to tell you and remind you that there are no glass ceilings in this business. There's none. I've never understood how that worked. I get reminded over and over again that there are no glass ceilings, but I talk to many women over and over and over again, over and over again. If they still have a job right now, they're not getting a raise this year. They're not getting the promotion that they were promised 365 days ago. They aren't getting the movement or the lateral move. They were supposed to move from Toronto to Vancouver. That's not happening for a promotion. So I want you to know that you guys are in a very special place to dream. There is nothing holding you back from the big thoughts in your mind and the big accomplishments you want to have other than you. So I encourage you, unlock that girdle on your brain. Think bigger than you ever have. No one's going to make fun of you. And if they do, they shouldn't be in your circle. Oh, yeah, crap. That was page 2. I'm going back and then I'm hanging up. Sorry, your other thing to unlock your treasures, I should have left it at that. But the other thing to unlock your treasures is to think about who your inner circle is. Who are the people that you surround yourself with? Some of them are family. And if they don't support you, I'm here to tell you, it's okay. Not one of my initial family has purchased from me since I started 9 years ago. My aunt bought from me, who used to be on my mom's team. She bought a foundation from me when we were running for 600,000. I said thank you. I love them dearly, but they're not always going to be your biggest cheerleaders, and that's okay. Because remember when I said you're independent of them too. So if you want more for your life and your family and you want to cross off something off the list, don't let the aunt or the husband or the sister that said they'll never buy anything from you, never support you, determine where it is you're going to go in 2021. Because if you allow them to do that, you've let them take your power away. And this is 30 powerful women on this call. So think about who you surround yourself with. You might have to adjust your circle, or you might just have to put them at a different length, like longer than an arm, like an arm plus a leg. And then what you're going to do is go find a couple women that are like-minded and have your best interests at heart and bring them in. You've got a lot of people to support you in this business. 4 directors on this call that would love to see you blow your wildest dreams out of the water, because I know you can. So I send you lots of love. January, whatever heck day it is, I don't even know anymore. January 13th. But we're 13 days in, and if you're not where you want to be, start on Mary Kay's lucky number 13. Make a decision. Decide what you want to do, the effort you're willing to put in, and go fricking get it. The kit's $24. I'm just going to say that one more time. The kit is $24. There is no shipping. There is no tax. It's two grande freaking vanilla lattes and two banana bread to start a side hustle. That's it. I love you guys all. You're amazing. You're all treasures in my life. I look forward to Wednesday every week just so I can see all your beautiful faces. I love you lots. Have a really powerful week. We'll see you next week.